All right, like making things interesting. Let's talk about the game on Saturday. Kind of a back and forth game, really close with Northern Colorado. But you guys end up coming out on top. Talk about the game itself.
Yeah, we've tried to stress to our team that it doesn't matter, who you're playing, who your opponent is. You have to respect everyone. And, I think, I'm no disrespect to Northern Colorado. They played extremely well. I knew going into the football game they're very well coached. I've known Coach Lamb since he was at BYU, and I know what kind of football coach he is, and he does a tremendous job. Got a good staff that works hard at it, and they're getting better as a football program under his leadership. So, they played really hard, played really well. I'm not going to take anything away from those guys. They were at home and excited to be at home, and it was their home opener, and they played very well.
Then going to the end of the game, talk about the kind of decision making you had to go through. It's not easy deciding to go for a 54-yard field goal. The fact it paid off. How good does that feel, kind of as a team and as a coach?
Yeah, I was watching Ritzy kick in the warm-ups, and when he was kicking toward the north, he was kicking from about 52 yards in the pregame, and I noticed he missed one out to the right, then he missed one over to the left, but he had plenty of distance. So right there at the end, after we get the 15-yard penalty, I was sitting there and I just asked how far it was, and they said 54, and I thought, you know what, he was kicking into the wind in the pregame, and I thought, there was a little bit of a breeze, slight. I thought, you know what, he had the distance kicking into the wind, so I think the chances of making a field goal are a lot better than throwing a Hail Mary at that particular time. So just went with my gut feeling and just made the call to kick it.
The fact you're able to win a close game on the road against a tough opponent, that's something you guys have kind of done all season, is battle through adversity. Talk about what that means to the team to be able to come out of Colorado with a big win like that, going into a really important week this week against number 2 ranked Idaho.
There you go. Well, I think we talked to our team about taking the next step as a football program, and no matter what anyone outside the program believes, we took the next step. I've said this over and over and again. If you just look at non-FBS football scores within our program, that was the 6th one-score game that we had played in. We had lost 5 of those previously, and that was the first time I believe that we won a one-score game when it was that tight. Like I've said, we had, going into this season, we had lost 7 times. We're 14-7 against non-FBS programs, and 5 of those 7 losses were 1 point, 3 point, 3 point, 3 point, and 7 points. So that was a big emphasis for us. Try to build a program that wins football games when circumstances get difficult, and I don't know if you can make it any more difficult than that. Got off to an extremely slow start offensively. We went 7 consecutive 3-and-outs, and in a minute 55 in the first half before we got our first down. So, I was very proud of our defense. We forced 8 3-and-outs, missed field goal, an interception. So 10 possessions out of 14, we absolutely gave our opponent no chance to score. And so there was a lot of good that came out of it. We need to play in a physical, tough game like that. The first 2 weeks of the season, I've been air raid, spread the field, throw the football, and for us to be able to get in there and match up. And they were big, strong, put a 6'7", 240-pound quarterback in the game, and they had a good plan. And it's hard to emulate that when you've been preparing for air raid for 6 weeks.
And this week, it was your running back that kind of stepped up, able to score a couple touchdowns, including one really long touchdown run. The fact that it's another person stepping up, being a leader, especially a redshirt senior like he is, how big is that another person's able to step up and fill that role?
We've been talking about that all fall camp. We have so many different guys on offense that can make a difference. We got to get more consistent in the run game. We only rushed for 96 yards with 65 of that coming on Sam's long touchdown run. So we got to be able to establish the run. And I think that's obviously an area of emphasis with our football team is consistently running the football. And, we haven't really been able to do that through 3 weeks of the season, and that's going to be an area that we've got to improve.
And jumping ahead to this weekend, big game. Idaho's coming to town, number 2 team in the FCS. Talk about the challenges they're going to face and how electric it's going to be here at ACU against that game.
Well, first of all, Idaho, they're a very well coached football team. They're never out of position. They have a belief in what they do on both sides of the football. Big, physical, typical, what you expect out of that region of the country. They're tough, hard nosed, play the game the way that it's supposed to be played, and just I'm obviously looking forward to it just because it's an opportunity to play a nationally ranked opponent here at home. And but at the end of the day, it's still about us trying to improve and get better as a football team and take a step forward as a team and as a program. We don't like really the emotional side of it. We don't get caught up in that because you can't play and live life by how you feel and be here 1 week and here 1 week. So we're just trying to stay consistent and be a program that just steadily improves just a little bit each and every week as a team. And
Evan, mistake me if I'm wrong. First time we're having a all-ranked matchup here at ACU in the Division I level.
Yes.
That's big time. That ACU is not only hosting a ranked opponent, but you guys are ranked as well. What does that mean to kind of the community and kind of showing out that ACU football is something serious to mess with?
Well, I just think it just shows the improvement that we've made over the last couple of years. It's. I mean, I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock into rankings until the end of the season, but it is. It's a show of respect for our team and where we're headed. But at the end of the day, to me, it's just about once you cross the white lines on Saturday night, it's just another game, another opponent. And we hope to have a great crowd and bring the energy and all those things. But at the end of the day, I want to see improvement as a team and as we continue to move our program forward.
Perfect.
Going back to before the game-winning field goal, kind of take me through that whole last drive and, maybe what was said to Mav or the offense.
Yeah, I just walked into the huddle there when we were up, and I just reminded them. I just said, guys, we've done a 2-minute situation. We do it every Thursday. And I said, in the last 3 Thursdays, I said, you guys have kicked a field goal, scored a touchdown in the very same scenario. I mean, a couple of timeouts, 1 timeout, minute 38 seconds, minute 15 seconds, whatever it was on the clock. We worked those situations every week. And I had 100% confidence. I knew we were going to be able to drive the ball down and get it into field goal range because I'd seen it happen in practice, and that was and it showed up. And same thing. So right there at the end, we just tried to get a few extra yards. To try to make it a little bit easier kick for Ritzy, and end up getting a guy ran over, and we get called for a leg whip, which I won't comment on that. But what a call at that particular time of the game. I mean, I thought that was very interesting. So, but at the end of the day, it worked out exactly the way it needed to work out. And man, hats off to Ritzy for stepping up big time.
And it's been an eventful season so far, ups and downs. I just big picture, where's your mind at? Where's the team's mind at this point in the season?
Well, I mean, we're 1-0 in conference and 2-1. So we've lost 1 game by 1 point in overtime. So I think our guys are in a good spot. I mean, we need to continue to develop consistency on both sides of the football. And like I said, I mean, when you sit there and you're missing your 3 top corners from a year ago, your 2 leading tacklers at linebacker, we kind of had to try to find our identity, and I think we took a step in the right direction the other day. I mean, I felt like we extended their drives a couple of times, their scoring drives with penalties, 2 consecutive penalties on third down that, I just feel like that we got to develop consistency in all 3 phases. At times we play really well in special teams. At times we're playing really well on defense. At times we're playing really well on offense. We just got to get more consistent and to be able to continue to move through the season. And I think that's something that you'll see.
And then Gibson had a monster game. And I guess been very involved prior to this game. How do you think he's going to continue to be involved in the coming weeks?
I think it's just, 1 week it's Blaine Taylor, 1 week it's Sam Hicks, 1 week it's, Javion Gibson. I don't know. Like, to me, we take what the defense gives us. That's what's unique. We have probably 6 receivers that any one of, last week it was Nehemiah Martinez, so it's all about taking what they give you. And it's the problem with defending our defense. Who do you isolate? Who do you try to, take away? You got 3 running backs with all 3 have different running skill sets. You got 6 wide receivers that can do exactly what Javion's done, what Nehemiah's done, what Blaine has done, what Trey Cleveland has done. You throw all those guys in there, and J.J. Henry and Hut Graham. We still have a lot of weapons at wide receiver, and it just we don't really necessarily target those guys specifically. We run our schemes and we run our offense and we take what they give us.
And then with Idaho coming to town, what would you say is like the most important things you're looking to prepare upon as they come?
You better bring your toughness, because they're going to hit you right in the face, and that's the thing. You have to match their mental intensity and their aggression. They try to bully people. They play a tough, hard-nosed brand of football, and no different than going to North Dakota. They just look like all those teams up in that part of the country. They play tough, blue-collar football, and that's what we want to build a program. That's what we're trying to become.
Preseason, you mentioned looking forward to seeing the team's competitiveness transfer into games. How have you kind of seen that play out since the first week of games?
I think it speaks to itself. We're sitting at 2-1, and obviously losing a tough opener. So, and we've never been out of the fight. We got down 10-0 the other day, and could have been 17-0 before we intercepted the football. I think that's being pretty competitive when you never give up. We got down 15-0 at Texas Tech. You got down 22-7 at Texas Tech, 32-21 at Tech. So I've been very pleased with our competitiveness and the ability to stay together and continue to play the next play mentality. And I think it speaks well to the mindset of our football team. They're never out of the fight. There was no. Even at the end of the game, or whatever it was, 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, and our guys were confident we're going to go down and score. And that's just not luck. That's where preparation meets opportunity, and I think our guys took advantage of it.
You kind of mentioned the blue collar football that Idaho plays. What are going to be your defensive approaches and keys to winning this game?
Well, do what we did last week. We gave up 3.4 yards of play. Obviously they had difficulty throwing the football. They only threw for 25 yards. But, man, when you give up 3.4 yards of play, I don't care what league. I don't care high school football, college football, the NFL, you're going to win. And that just speaks to explosive plays. So I felt like even, when you really look at it, it go all the way back to week 1. The longest run we've had against our defense, until we misaligned the other day to give them one kind of explosive run. But other than that, it's been Taj Brooks' 20-something yard run where he got outside containment week 1. So I really feel good about the way we're playing up front defensively. We're destroying the line of scrimmage. Very proud of those guys. We just got to continue to do that. Continue to eliminate explosive plays. And if we do that and execute on offense the way that we're capable of executing, then look forward to an exciting football game.
The passing game last weekend looked a little bit rough, maybe just not what it was previously. Was there something that you noticed was just constantly getting missed?
Yeah, we just, we're a rhythm up-tempo offense, and we were out of sync. We were out of rhythm. It's all about getting that first down. Every time we got that first down, we scored for all 4 of those series. So, I think we did a great job protecting the football. We did a great job. We were 100% of the available points in the red zone on offense. So those were the bright spots. And at the end of the day, we had 3 keys to victory. Number 1, it was go as a team and take the next step together. We stayed together no matter what the circumstances were on Saturday. So I'm proud of that. Number 2 was a 100% ball security. We did that. Tried to take the ball away from our opponent 3 times. We took it away twice. Stopped them on 2 two-point conversions, which was huge in the outcome of the game. And then the last thing was, we got to make plays in special teams that make a difference, and we kick a 54-yard game-winning field goal. So we hit all 3 of our keys to victory last week.
Mavs got over 1,000 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 65% completion percentage through 3 games. What have you liked from him?
65% completion percentage, no interceptions. Like you pretty much named it right there. I mean, if he'll keep doing that, then we're going to position ourselves to win a lot more football games.
Big game this weekend, obviously. What do you want from the fans this weekend?
Yeah, I think just energy and an excitement. I mean, the players feed off of it. I mean, to me, it needs to be an experience. So, I mean, you bring your family and you come to a game, it ought to be about the experience, and you ought to want to make people come back. And it isn't just what happens on the field. It's about, we want to play an exciting brand of football to give people something to come back for. But when they get here, they need to feel the energy and the excitement within the stadium.
It's not often you get 2 defensive linemen with as many tackles as Jerry Lawson and Kagan Roach had on Saturday. What did you think about their play?
Yeah, I mean, that we're fairly athletic up front, and so I think just the ability to get those guys on the move, and just the nature of the style of that game. I mean, they ran the ball like 65 times or something like that, and so I think just getting those guys moving and allowing them to. I mean, Jerry was a high school running back. Kagan just brings a toughness and a grit to our defensive line that we have needed, and then David Oakey's been playing extremely well through the first 3 games, and then Chris Wright's a young man that just keeps getting better and better. So I like where we are up front, and their playmaking ability, and when we get those guys on the move, they're really pretty good.